I am here, and this is New York Intense, and everything is going to be okay. And I know I've kind of taken a shot at New York Intense in past live streams, and I realize I was wrong, but I love being wrong, and I love being able to correct myself because ultimately it makes me right. This video could have been called Perfume of the Week or Perfume of the last 2 weeks. You can see the massive dent I've put on here since the last time you guys have seen this. I've been wearing this exclusively, and I see a lot of comparisons online to other perfumes. New York Intense smells like Heritage or Bois de Portugal or Derby, or I personally myself compared it to Pour Monsieur, Chanel's Pour Monsieur. And the reason I think we see a lot of those comparisons is not that anybody's right or wrong, because I can definitely see a lot of those, but because this is a very complex perfume and there's a lot going on, and there is a lot of those attributes found in these other perfumes that are found here. So it is very deep and nuanced and rich and complex, and it is a very beautiful masculine perfume. Personally, I find the comparisons to Heritage probably least or less so than the others like Bois de Portugal or Derby. Or I myself, there are times where I find it strangely resembling Diaghilev or Mitsuko, and I think because it's that leather in the base, the leather in oak moss, it's got a huge sparkle, a huge green reflection of oak moss. Not only that, but it's got a green lemon in the top, green lemon, citron, bergamot, petit grain, very beautiful citrus opening that kind of starts it in this very fresh way that sets it up to contrast a lot of the depth, a lot of the nuances, a lot of like the leather and the moss and the woods in the base. So it is spicy. I get a really nice woody clove in here. I love clove, really drawn to clove notes, which kind of gives it this oaky feeling. It's not like the old mannish clove. It is more of a woody clove. Might even be some cinnamon in here, but get a lot of lavender, dry herbal lavender, which adds texture to this, adds warmth. It adds that barbershop shaving foam aspect to this. So there is a huge element of barbershop fougere to this, and I would kind of, if I had to give it a genre, if I had to absolutely box it in, I wouldn't call this a straight up Chypre, like I once thought it was a citrus Chypre. I would classify this as a fougere Chypre, very much like when I had reviewed Derby. Derby opened up, it had that fougere accord, and then it dries down to Chypre, and this is very much familiar to that. Even has that coumarin in the base, not so much sweet vanilla, but I do sense that coumarin. Right, it's got that citrus, it's got the lavender, patchouli, and coumarin. A lot of leather in here. I personally get a lot of leather, and I haven't seen leather mentioned anywhere. It's just so fascinating because I love the style of leather used in this, which just adds a lot of masculinity. It is a very classic, masculine, kind of a timeless perfume, even though it's compared to so many other pieces. And I always wondered, if Diaghilev took so much flack for being inspired by Mitsuko, why is this one praised? I get the beauty, I see the beauty, but why is this one praised so much when it takes, bits and pieces from so many others, especially from Guerlain, right? But that's just the way it is. I mean, not to take away from it. It is beautiful, even though it does remind me of, Heritage, Bois de Portugal, Derby, Pour Monsieur, or even Diaghilev or Mitsuko. But I think, for me, the comparisons to Heritage are the least likely. And I get it. It's much more sparkling. It's much more green, and I don't get any leather from Heritage, but I do get the resemblance of lavender and patchouli in the base. But this isn't as scratchy as Heritage. Heritage has got this very scratchy, almost sandpaperish patchouli, right? It's very abrasive, and here it's much smoother. I don't get any of that harsh elements. It's a very smooth perfume. And the base is very mossy, very it's very reflective, right? And it's got that smoky incense to it. No resins. There's no resins to kind of offset that smoothness. Heritage is much more resinous to me, much more powdery. It's got a massive amber in the base as well. I do get that amber, kind of ambery incense, but it's very soft. It's very refined and elegant. Nothing at all like really Heritage. At least that's not the way I see it. I don't perceive it as such, but so many other people do, which is interesting. See, I get much more Diaghilev from this. Great use of citrus, spice, leather, and moss. That's kind of the foundation of this. Yeah, that's what I get, even more so than Bois de Portugal. A lot of comparisons to Bois de Portugal. My comparisons of it to Pour Monsieur were really made just off the top, right? I don't even think of Pour Monsieur anymore, but that's the comparisons I made like very early on when I had picked it up. But now it's much more like Derby. Derby has that, you know, it opens up with that fougere, that barbershop fougere, shaving foam, and then it dries down to a mossy chypre, patchouli, labdanum, lots of labdanum. You know, that's probably helps boost up the leather as well. But and smoke and incense probably coming from that labdanum. But it is very classic. It's very masculine. It's refined. It's sophisticated. I love wearing it. It's absolutely beautiful. And anything I've said about it, any kind of bad words or ill will, I take them back. Absolutely. I take those words back, you know, even though I know once you say something, you can't take those words back. I take them back. I'm going to look for them and take them back as best as I can. But hopefully this will kind of negate those bad. I didn't really say anything bad about it. I always said that I thought it was a great theme, a great perfume. There was just some kind of weird buzz in here that annoyed me, right? You know, from the very start of the perfume to the base, but I'm not really sensing that anymore. I do find it a very lovely, classic, masculine, and I love this style of perfumery. I love, you know, Heritage, Bois de Portugal, Derby, Diaghilev. I love all of those mossy wonders. Anyway, there you go. There is Heritage. If you're Heritage, New York Intense, my apologies. If you are familiar with this, let us know your thoughts. What do you think? Well, what do you most find it similar to? Do you see the Heritage comparisons? Do you find it more like Bois de Portugal, or do you even get it? I don't think a lot of people are going to get the Diaghilev comparisons, and I'm okay with that, but I certainly do. So yeah, drop a comment down below. Always love seeing your faces, love reading your comments, love connecting in that way, and we'll see you all again very soon. Take care.